Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell today, well this week, we are doing a reading vlog. Okay, I have a lot of exciting books I want to get through this week, so, well this month, so I thought, you know what, let's do a reading vlog slash challenge. I am in the bedroom today just because Dale's doing some drilling and digging in the games room, so I thought I'd do a nice little background change for you guys because usually I'm at my desk 24/7, so that is all the footage you get of my house. So I'm going to try and utilise the house that I have, that I pay for background footage, because I might as well. Okay, so the challenge I'm doing this week is to read 150 pages per day, right? And I've seen a couple of people doing this. For example, Kate is reading, she does this multiple times a year, and every challenge she does, she ups it by 50 pages per day. And I'm not going to start off by doing 100 like she did, just because 100 to me is per usual. Like I read on the way to work while Dale's driving, I read in my lunch break, and roughly that's 100 pages. So I don't actually have to read anything when I get back from work. So I thought I'd do something where I can still at least vlog something with you guys. So like I said, I have a couple of books I'm excited to get through, so I thought I'd do the 150 pages a day challenge for a week. That was a lot to say. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books and I wanted to vlog these books. That's why I chose these books for this vlog. That's why I chose this vlog for this week. I'm in the middle of Unravel Me and it's book 2 in this beautiful Waterstone special edition and I'm loving it. So I really struggled to get back into this book just because it was 2 years ago when I read the first one and I completely forgot. And going into this book, I couldn't remember the characters, couldn't remember the story plot or anything. Then probably like maybe a quarter way through, I was like, oh my god, I remember this now. I'm loving it. Yeah, and things have been picking up royally. So I have around 150 pages left. So I'm on page 107 and this book has 460 pages. So it's like roughly 150. So my aim is today is to finish Unravel Me, right? And again, I'm very excited. I also am in the middle of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am on page 130 and I'm annotating it and I'm doing some doodles in there, but I was doing all this off of camera, so I thought this is a missed opportunity because some of you guys have been wanting me to read this and I've been wanting to read this, but I'm scared because there's so many spoilers on social media for this and Throne of Glass. It is just everywhere and I'm trying my hardest not to look at them, but you know sometimes when you look at the end of the book, like to see how many pages there is, and your eyes go against you and read the last sentence. So even though I do not want to read the spoilers, my eyes betray me and read some of those spoilers, so I know some stuff and I feel like I don't want to know that stuff anymore, so I feel I need to catch up. And I have a lot of books to get through to catch up to where we currently are at. So that's another one I'm reading. I'm probably going to say I can read this for a couple of days just because... Is this the next spoiler? Yeah. So this has got 419 pages. I'm currently at 130. So that's probably for like 2 days reading in this one. This one I'm finishing today, like that is not even a question. This one with the next couple of days, so I might finish it say Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be reading, what is it called? Lonely Castle in the Mirror. And this sounds so goddamn beautiful. It sounds so whimsical that I'm going to eat this book whole. That's what it sounds like. And I'm kind of excited for it. So if you don't know what this is, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the other two because you should know what those are. But this one, it says, in a neighbourhood in Tokyo, 7 young people wake up to find their bedroom mirrors shining. Placing their palms on the surface, they are pulled through into a wondrous castle where they encounter not only each other but also their taskmaster, a bossy young girl in a mask named Wolf Queen. Though they don't know it yet, they all have one thing in common, eager to uncover the secrets of the castle while keeping their own. Their time here will not be without glitches. For a start, each day they must leave by 5 o'clock or face a terrifying penalty. They must all hunt for a key that will grant only one wish. They must tell no one about their experience. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of giving a little bit of a Hunger Games trope, and you guys know I love my Hunger Games, so I'm all for this. And it's a Japanese retelling and I'm here for it. And this cover is just beautiful. beautiful. So this is again roughly at 200 pages, 2 reads. It is, oh, has it got a second book? Oh no, the author's got a second book. Anyway, so this has 354 pages. So again, it's like 2 reading days, 150 pages each. So I'll be finishing that probably Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I have another book that I want to get onto, and this has only just come out. I got it last month for my fairy loot, and I am so excited to read this. It's the fairy loot edition, and it's beautiful. I've showed this before. This is on my, well, all these books actually are on my January TBR, so I might as well just get them out of the way. This is just stunning. So it says every fire starts with a single spark. Okay, let's read this together. Again, because it's a new release, you probably don't know what this is, so I'm going to go through it. London, 1923. Dragons soar through the skies and protests erupt on the streets, but Vivian Featherswallow isn't worried. She's going to follow the rules and get an internship studying dragon languages. By midnight, Viv has started a civil war. It's kind of like a dark academia vibes in a school, and I'm very excited for it. With her parents arrested and her little sister missing, all the safety Viv has worked for is collapsing around her, so when a lifeline is offered in the form of a mysterious job, she grabs it. Arriving at Bletchley Park, Viv discovers that she has been recruited to uncover the secrets of a hidden dragon language. If she succeeds, she and her family can all go home again. If she doesn't, they all die. Oh, so it's like an inside job. But the more Liv learns, the more she realises that the bubble she's grown up in isn't as safe as she thought, and eventually she must decide, what war is she really fighting? Okay, I'm so excited for this book. Dragons in 1920s. It sounds like there's an inside job going on, because if her parents... What happened to... I've literally just read that. So with her parents being arrested and her sister's missing, but her having to complete this job and then they're released, it's inside job. I am calling it an inside job. So this should be Saturdays and Sundays reads. I'm not going to finish it just because it's not a tiny book, but it has 471 pages. So I'm probably going to read half of this to get to 300, and 300 is quite actually a decent way through. So that's 300 and that's what's left. So I do have a decent selection of books to go through this week, and it's mental to say I will be finishing probably all of them. On my monthly TBR, I do have all these 4 books, and then I have 2 other books, but that'll leave me plenty of time to read those off camera and like chill out, because I know from doing these vlogs, sometimes at the end of the week you're just like, oh my god, I can't be bothered picking up a book and picking up a camera and making myself look presentable and always getting a good angle, and sometimes it's just, you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing today. It is currently 12:30. It's Monday, I have the day off. I had a really busy weekend in Hull with the family, which was really nice. But yes, so I'm going to do a couple of things today, and I'll be reading in the middle of it. But you're probably going to get some footages later when it gets a bit darker, just because, like I said, I am busy. You're probably not going to see me until later on, so enjoy. Can't even cope. Okay, so I've just read to a part, and I'm not going to explain the situation, obviously, because it's the second book in a series, and I don't want you guys to, or I don't want any spoilers for you guys, but there's one thing, and I think it's like hilarious. So it's kind of a little bit like a sentimental, like heartwarming, like I have like ripped out my heart of my chest and I have given you the details of my feeling situation. And she says, well, he finished speaking, and then she, and I dropped dead all over the floor. He says, Juliet. And then she goes, I can't understand why I can still hear him speaking, because I'm dead. I'm already dead. I've died over and over and over again. And usually I'd say that's really bad English. Like, it's not sentencing very well, but it's placed perfectly where it works. It works so well with the situation that they're in. Chef's kisses. I am so proud of how she did that, because I read it and I thought, oh my god, that's amazing. And I thought of it and I was like, that's actually really not, that's very illiterate. Like, it's not really well done, but it is with the circumstances. So yeah, I'm quite far in now. I'm at 100, I'm at 395. I have like 65 pages left. So far so good. Do I want it to end? Not really. It's been a decent read though. Like, it's not a tiny book, and I'm enjoying reading, and I cannot believe I put this book off for such a long time. But it's getting late. It's 9:30. Am I going to finish it? Of course I am. I am also very excited to read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I've already got this out so I can start reading it tomorrow, because I will be reading this tonight. I'll be finishing it. Like I said earlier, I've been really busy today, so it's just not been something that I've been able to just do and sit and read. But it's probably a good job that I didn't do that, because if I did have time, I would have completed this, and more than likely nearly completed this. And that's not what this challenge is about, honey. You're meant to read 150 pages per day. Okay. I know I said that I was supposed to be doing this challenge where I read 150 pages a day and I'm finishing so many books. Today's a couple of days later. I have not done said challenge. I do have a little bit of an update. I can't remember when I last spoke to you. I'm going to do it again just in case. I have read Unravel Me. I finished it, rated it probably like a 3.5, 4 star. It didn't really hit the 4-star mark. I don't know why. I feel like the relationship with the main male characters just wasn't hitting the spot, and this book was more like sentimental, more touchy-feely type of thing, because our girl was just going through it and there was a lot of references to what she's been through, a lot of reminders, and it was kind of like a shit time for her. But the overall book was really good. Like, there were certain spoilers, certain things you could see, like, predict in there as well. But there was a lot of stuff where I was just like, as you saw from the footage, there was one scene right near the end, if you know, you know. And I was just like, oh my god, like, my globeth, what is going on here? I was so quick to get to the next chapter. Excited to continue this special edition series though. I'm going to get all of them, and I'm going to like stack them all on a shelf, and it's going to have its own dedicated shelf. I like special editions, if you couldn't tell. So that's the plan with that one, and I finished that on Monday night. It's now Wednesday. I was supposed to read 150 pages yesterday and then 150 pages today. Yesterday I started the book on page 130, I think it was, of ACOTAR, right? So I was supposed to get to page 280. Did I do that? Did I do that? No, I didn't. I am on a page 175. So for me to catch up to my challenge that I set myself, I need to finish ACOTAR tonight. And I am roughly halfway through, and ACOTAR is quite dense with the story plot. The wording is tightly compacted together, and it also doesn't help them annotating the book as well, which takes it twice as long. So there's that. I am going to obviously try to catch up to the challenge I've set myself. I might be behind for a couple of days, but on the weekend I do not have any plans, so I probably still will come to you with an update that I finished this book, blah blah blah. I'm hoping on either Friday or Saturday and Sunday, like the whole weekend, I might read a couple more pages than 150. Might finish a book, you know, to see how it goes, because I'm stubborn. I've set myself the challenge to finish this book, this book, this book, and halfway through or more of this book. So that challenge is still set in hand, and I will still try my hardest to do that, but I'm behind, and I just wanted to let you guys know. I'm going to crack on now because it's 6:30. I still need to eat food and I still need to finish Akatar. So right, I understand it's a lot of handheld action going on here, but I've just met Resand, so this is how much I've got left to read. Past halfway now, and what an entrance. Why is he being such a dick? Like, I thought a lot of you guys liked him. I am confused. Like, imagine meeting someone like him in like a completely different world, and this gorgeous guy comes in and like dominates everybody. Like, hello, who are you? Like, leave and stop it. The thing is, I know it's important, I've seen spoilers everywhere, but you can tell someone's important in a book when he gets described in a lot of detail. You know, when they talk about like their looks and their attitude and what they say, you know they're important because of that. Like, a character will not be described in a lot of detail if they're not important. And I'm saying this from a point of view because I don't know why he's important, but I know he's a continuation for the whole books because obviously I've seen spoilers everywhere. But my opinion currently is not the nicest at all. Like, at all. At all. So I'm quite surprised with that. I am on page 400. Nope. I wish I was on page 400. I'm on page 243. And as I just said, I've me, Resand, and our main girl has her love interest. I'm not going to say anything else. There was a scene that you saw earlier, and let me get the annotated page up. I struggled with words reading that. I had to reread it like 3 times, and then I was reading it again when I was annotating it, and I was just like, I can't even cope with what is going on right now. I loved it. I really loved it, but that kind of came out of nowhere for me because up until that point I didn't really like I knew people were interested in each other, but not to that degree. So it kind of came out of nowhere for me, but that's fine. I'll accept it. Seem to be prioritising this position, this video, and I just don't know why, but you propped up against my drink, so perfect, professional. I've just finished Avatar, right? Wasn't expecting it to finish like that, wasn't expecting that to happen, and I'm pleasantly surprised about it. I really enjoyed it. So I was expecting this to end in a massive cliffhanger, and if I wasn't aware that it had so many more books in this series, then I'd be happy with how this book finished. Do you guys think the same, or is that just me? With what happened, there was like a discovery at the end of the book, and I think that might be why people continue reading the series, because obviously, I mean, it was good, I loved it, but I think that's the pull I'm now feeling towards the next book in the series. The start of the book was really good because obviously it was opening up the world. It was like a human. You go from her point of view, and she lives in like a human, mundane town, and then like Fae were like involved, introduced, and then the Fae and the humans mixed, and then you got in more introduced to the Fae world. And obviously a lot of girls like Fae. It's just something we like to look into, read. We like the Fae people. We do. And once she settles in with the Fae, it got really boring, and that's where I think I struggled. I also stopped reading this book at that point, and then picking it up when I wasn't in the storyline didn't help me. I loved the part after that. I absolutely loved. If the whole book was like that, which I know is difficult because it's the first book in a very long series and it has to open up the whole world and it has to like backstories and people and you have to understand everything, so I get it. But if it was like the second half of the book, I'd be obsessed. I'd be banging my credit card on the table being like, more. But because of that, I'm not. So 4 stars. I know I sound like I'm whinging, but I really enjoyed this book, and especially the fact that I was annotating it. You might be thinking like, Maya, why have you turned this book into a peacock? I have been reading this in the car and at work and I ran out of tabs, so I had to use tabs that I'm not going to use. Like, I'm never going to use a white tab on a white page, it just won't stand out. So I use these as like my prompter reminder that there's something on this page I need to tab to go back in it at a later time and then just tab it and annotate it. But yeah, there's a lot of annotations. Like, I've already showed you like pages like this. There's some recently which must have shown you, if I can find it. This one, I mean, my annotation is legit just falling off right here and then, which I'm gonna put that back on because how dare you. But yeah, just, you know, yeah, so I go through phases with annotating books, and I really wanted to annotate this one. There was no point for all these annotations where I thought, oh, I don't want to annotate this book. But here we are, done and dusted. It's Sunday. Thank God it's Sunday. I always say this at the start of each vlog, at each challenge. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so looking forward to doing this. I'm gonna smash it out of the park. My TBR is growing for the week, blah blah. And at the end of the week, I'm always like, oh my God, I'm fed up with this challenge. I'm ready for it to be finished. Like, I'm bored. I can't pick a book any longer. Why do I do this to myself? Because I don't know. I finished Akata, as you guys saw, and we'll talk about at the end of the video. Like, I'll talk about the books, my feelings, my ratings later on, because I just can't go into it right now. I've started Alone in the Castle in the Mirror, but I am more in a romantic kind of vibe. That's my feeling currently at the moment, and that's based on high schoolers, and I cannot imagine it's got the romantic I want. So I've just put that down for the time being. Language of Dragons, which is also on my weekly TBR, I have not even attempted to pick that up because it's got dragons in it, and Onyx Storm comes out in a couple of days when I'm recording this. When this goes up, it'll already be out. It came out yesterday. And I just don't want to distract myself from that beautiful world that's going to be coming out, because I'm rereading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame for Onyx Storm, and I just need no more distractions of dragons. So that's probably bad timing to pick that out for this month. I'm currently now on, so I need to read 150 pages today, but I'm currently on Quicksilver because this wasn't on my TBR, but I just wanted, I think every time I read a physical copy and I annotate it, it drains me. So I always end up picking like a Kindle read after that, because like I need something simple that's not, do you know what I mean? So I picked up this one, and it's got the romanticy there, it's got the high action, it's got the like, it's got everything I wanted in the book. So I'm reading this one. I need to read 150 pages today. Currently I am, which I already have read a bit today, I'm on page 68, 12% through. So I've only got 100 pages left to do today, but I am quite busy, lots of chores, lots of other recordings to do, bits and bobs throughout the day. So you're probably not going to see me now until it gets dark, which is usually how my videos go because I am working full time, and you will only see me on the weekends when it's bright and then nighttime when it's dark. We just deal with it. We just deal with it, don't we? Just deal with it. And this one, I'll give you a bit of a debrief if you didn't know. Again, I'm not that far into it. I'm on in chapter 6, so it's not like I can tell you the whole story, because I went into this book without even reading the synopsis. I thought, oh yeah, that's a high anticipated read, I'll click that, and then just dove right into it. Main girl, I think she's called, is it Ceres? Ceres. I'll put it up here. The world that she's in is split up into like sanctions. So there's where the queen lives, which is obviously like the high court. Then it goes down into numbers, and the lowest number is sanction, like section 3. And that is full of disease, like they are quarantined and they are not allowed out. And our main girl is from there. She's had a tough life. Her and her brother have had a very tough life. They have gone through shit. Her parents are no longer there. They're living with, I don't know if it's her uncle or if it's like a family friend who's helped like bring them up. And she gets into like a bit of a fumble with the guards. Like it goes straight into it. Like it shows you like how good she is and stuff. And it mentions the Fae in there as well, so I don't know when they're going to come into it, but there's Fae in there, and I wasn't aware there was Fae in here when I started this, which is a happy surprise. There is a couple of main guys where it goes into detail with how they look and like they're bickering with the female, and I am unsure on who the main character is, because there's a couple in viewpoint, and I'm just waiting to see which one. I think I know who it is, and he's mentioned quite early in the book, but I'm not going to say the names just in case I'm wrong or I'm right. I'm just going to leave it at that. Our main girl's younger brother, Hayden, he is a little bit of a spoilt brat just because his sister looks after him, and he kind of takes it for granted. He's annoyed me quite a bit with how he's led our main girl into a bit of a predicament. And he's just ungrateful, basically. So that's led our girl into where she's now. She's met the queen. The queen seems a bit psychotic and a bit crazy. But that's currently where I'm at. I don't really know any of the story plot or anything. Like, there's no spoilers there. This is the start of the book, and it's just going into some details. I am at the stage, though, where things are starting to happen. Like, I'm at the feed and those little Easter eggs. And I'm not going to tell you guys, because I was quite like, oh, pleasantly surprised when I read that. So I'll give you an update. Again, I need to read 150 pages, but if I can read more, then I'm obviously going to read more. Throughout the week, I have read 2 physical books, but I've also read another one, and I didn't read it. Well, it was an audible, and I listened to it at work, but I'm still going to class that to listening to 150 pages a day, because I did. I finished that book early in the week, so technically, I'm not behind. I wasn't going to count that because I wanted to actually physically read a book, but I technically did read a book, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can now take that off of my TBR because I know the story plot, and that was Lights Out. The ones who know. The ones who don't get to know, because I listen to that, and I usually don't like listening to books where a guy's like grunting in your ear, because I find it really awkward, and it gives me a bit of the ick, kind of cringy. But I loved that book. I loved it. It wasn't a 5-star, but it had the 4.5-star feeling. I'll go into detail later on in this video, but yeah, so that was, and I'm telling everyone to read that. I think I've like hinted and like persuaded 4 or 5 people to read that book now because of what I've said about it. And if you like Heart and Adeline, get on this bandwagon, because you need to get into that book. Anyway, I've been talking for 7 minutes now, and we need to get into reading this book. Again, I'm not going to read now, I'll read later, but you'll see where we go, and then we'll give you an update. We'll just get into it, because I am stalling because I have a lot of chores to do today, and I am putting off my responsibilities. So it's later on in the day. I told you I would not be recording much today because I'm busy. But I've been busy, so I haven't read that much. But I'm on page 93, and we've now assumingly just met the main character. And the king in the Fae world, what's it called? Is it called like Valeria? Right, so the Fae of Valia, I think it's pronounced. And yeah, so she's been introduced in that world, and the main guy, the king from Valia, calls him the dog. And I'm only guessing it's him because in the book it talks about tattoos on his hands and everything. And in the picture, I mean, it's a shockingly dark picture, but you can see there that the dude's got tattoos on him. And I think it's him. And I'm excited to be introduced to this because he was going into detail of how much of a dark like ambiance he gives off, how like everybody, he's kind of petrified of him, and that 2 guards had to bring him into the throne room and he off-balanced those 2 guards. So you can tell he's powerful. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. I don't have many pages left to get to my target. Only 60 pages. Tea is in the oven. Earlier in the day, I have also done my January setup. Obviously, I wasn't able to finish it because I haven't finished this challenge. So it depends on how many pages I read is what I can do with that. But yeah, let's have a catch up later with once I finish the challenge. I can give you an update because I'm not really into it. There's not a lot of romance here because obviously the guy and the girl have only just met and it's not really in a romantic setup. So there's that. We need to talk about the books I've read this week, and especially Lights Out, which I obviously didn't record on here because I was listening to it when I was driving and while at work. So we've got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a long ass video, I can tell already. But we're here for it, we're fine. Speak to you soon. Right, so I am driving. This is probably not the best situation to be in because obviously this is a shocking, absolutely shocking angle. But I've just been to an author meet. I went to see the author who did the Baby Dragon Cafe and I haven't read it. So it got released like 3 days ago and I've been to one other author meet before and I loved it. It was Sarah A. Parker and I got a picture of her, but I'd read that book before. This book obviously I haven't read, so I went in and I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I probably could have done just because obviously I haven't read it. And yeah, I wasn't as attached to the author or the book as I was with the previous one I went to, so I didn't go and get my book signed. I didn't go for a picture because I don't know if I'm gonna like it, so I just thought, you know, I'm gonna leave it. But I just wanted a quick catch up with you guys. I didn't record yesterday at all and that was the last day of the vlog, which is really annoying. So I have like postponed this vlog until today, and I'm sorry, but this footage is going to be absolutely shocking because I'm driving out of a parking garage because I'm in town, so I needed to park in somewhere it's safe from my car. But yeah, so that's where my thought process is. So I've read a bit today, like quite a lot today. I'm currently on page 215 of Quicksilver and I'm not as obsessed as I thought I was going to. Like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as everyone else was making out to be. At the moment I feel like it's highly rated, like too highly from my point of view. So currently it's like a 3-star. It's at the point where the girl and the guy are having like good banter and she's like instantly like love-a-dovey to him. Like, she likes him, like her body likes him for some reason that she doesn't know why, and that I kind of resonated because sometimes your brain does something and your body's like what are you doing? That's not what our plan is, stop it. So I get that and I really like that. Is the guy's a bit of a douche canoosh and I'm just not resonating with him. There's been like 2 things that I thought that was really funny. So I read earlier on my lunch break at Costa and I was reading this book and I was just like, shouldn't be reading this in public. I am very much struggling to keep my face neutral and not giggle, and I was like being more professional, but like I can't like go to this book, and I really wanted to. So it's alright, I'm enjoying it but not loving it as much as everybody else is, and I'm gonna stop recording now because I feel like, so I'm just gonna like, and then I'll talk to you when I get home. Bye. I went to an author meet for the Baby Dragon Cafe, and I just, it's too cute. Like, it's a cafe full of baby dragons, and it's like a comfy romance, happy ending, all that stuff. And then it came with a bookmark as well, which I love a good bookmark. And then it's got a quote on the back, and the quote said, "He smelled like coffee, his lips were still wet. She had the strangest impulse to go onto her tiptoes and have a taste." So you know that romance be steamy. Be steamy. Anyway, so back to this vlog. As I was saying in the car, and I'm gonna like duplicate myself here, I was supposed to finish this vlog off yesterday, but I didn't do any reading whatsoever. So I was like, well, I'm not really gonna count that, so I'm gonna count today. So the challenge was to read 150 pages, right? And I did. I read more than that, and I'm quite proud of myself. So I read 215 pages, and I wasn't reading this book because I was obsessed. Like, I was like, I need to find out what's going on. Like, give me more. Like, oh, what's going on? I'm happy with it, and I could continue reading it. It's not a 5-star read for me. I do think it's overhyped, but I'm still enjoying it. So I'm reading Quicksilver, and we got to the stage now where the main guy, don't really like him. The main girl, I understand her. And it's going more into like the folklore of the fae and the backstories of it and how the magic system works, which obviously, as you guys know with fae, it's a huge world building, and you need to go into it expecting a lot of plot, because you can't really have a fae book without fae lore. And I just expected a bit more just because of how hype it is. Saying that though, I am enjoying it. It's not like it's a don't read this book, it's awful. It's just a little bit overhyped with what it is. Anyway, still enjoying it. In this vlog, I finished Unravel Me, which is the second Shatter Me book in the series. Kind of liking this, kind of excited to continue. Kenji in the first book, obsessed. You guys know, if you know. Adam, never really liked him. I mean, at the start, I was kind of like swept up in it and was like, oh my god, yes, in the first book. And then my love dwindled, and then my love was non-existent in this book, and I kept saying to myself, like, girl, leave him, don't be with him, sort yourself out. Kenji, loved him in the first one. This one, my heart was preoccupied. Warner, though, at first, love-hate. Hate-love. Now it's love-love. That boy would burn the whole world for you, girl, and you do not appreciate him. So, you can leave it at that. I then read Akatar with you guys. You guys saw me read this book, and it just... Okay, so this has been on my TBR since I started reading books years ago. I mean, I've only started seriously getting into books probably for the past 2 years, and it's all over social media. Everybody loves this series, and I think because of how hyped it was, I was kind of petrified of reading this book. Scared. I was scared. Tamlin, I mean, I'm unsure about it. There was a scene, and you guys saw that scene. You guys saw me reading that scene, and you guys watched me read that, and I was just, hello. I was weak in the knees for him at that point. The rest of it, I don't know. He's not my amount of darkness. I feel like I need a guy who's darker, and that scene that you saw me read was a dark scene, and I was here for it. But the rest of the book, I'm just unsure. Rhysand, is it pronounced Rhysand? They call him Rhys further on in the book. I was interested at first, dark, mysterious, broody guy. Then he turned into an absolute get out personality. Didn't like that about him. And then at the end, I'm starting to question myself, question life, question him, question society, and be like, do I like him? Do I not? Lucian, unsure, mixed feelings. I think he's kind of like Kenji in the Unravel Me book. He's like really flirtatious, and you kind of love him, but you kind of also hate him. So with him, I am just kind of neutral at the moment. There's certain things that I thought, Okay, okay, girl, you say that, but I just, my love isn't there, my hate isn't there. I'm kind of like neutral to him, so that's where we are. Favourite, I like to put myself in the main female character's shoes. I'm that person. I don't know. I like it. I like it when a mundane, so a human, kind of finds out she's strong, or is strong, or saves the world. You know, that type of thing. And I think what she did is kind of a bit uncalled for. So I couldn't really resonate with her in this book. And then her sister at the start of the book, deaded. She she needs to sort her life out. And then further on in the book, like, I kind of understood her a little bit. I mean, I don't like her, but I don't not like her. I can see where she's coming from, so I get it. We're not on the same level, but I get it. So overall, it sounds quite negative, what I'm just saying, but it could have been a standalone book. But with how it ended, it could have been a standalone book. But there was a point in the book earlier on where I get it. I get why people were intrigued to continue reading the series. I think it wasn't like an overhyped, well, not overhyped, but all over social media, people loving it, people were obsessed, favourite series, rereads, all of that. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, I'll read it. Like, I'm not too fussed. I'll read it. I'll find out what's going on. But because of how big and hyped it is, I am now needing to continue, because I need to see if I'm one of those people that love this book and love this series, or if I'm one of those people that are just like, nah, overhyped, next. I mean, I did annotate it a lot, so there's some love there. But yeah, I really know how I feel about it. I'm gonna go on to the next one anyway, and then see where we are. I'm having to pull you down because I'm sitting on my bum now, because I was crouching on the floor and that was just not comfortable for my legs. I then listened to Lights Out. I mean, you saw nothing of that because obviously I was listening to it when I was driving and while I was at work. Obsessed. Obsessed. I need to find more where it's like that. So I loved Haunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline, that was like real deep and personal. Like, if you enjoyed that, you're kind of real scarred. And I kind of just wanted to finish that book because of how deep and how far I was into the first one. But I loved Haunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline. I loved Haunting Adeline. With the stalker romance, dark romance, they're kind of like, the girl don't like it, but at the same time, you know, she likes it. The knife play, I'm not really bothered by. I'm not disgusted by it, but I'm not like, yes, devil. Yeah, is what it is. I mean, I kind of like the new mattress trope thing though. Like, I'll destroy the bed, but don't worry, I'm buying you a new one. I kind of like that, the dominant side of it all. And again, I will burn the whole world to save you, my precious baby angel girl. Love those vibes. Here for it. Obsessed. Need that in my life. I liked the fact that it was a chasing trope. Here for it. And I usually don't listen to audible books when it's like romance, because of the grunting, and sometimes it just gives me the ick. It really does. But this one, it suits him. Grunting and growling suits him so much. I'll put up, if I can find who did it, I'll put it up here. But yeah, I mean, and her voice acting suited her to a T. There were just points where I was just at work, like, do, and then like a scene happened in my ear and I was just like, don't look at me, like, oh my god, like blushing, getting so goddamn red and having to act so normal because I don't people now listening to small work. Do you know what I mean? Like, So I finished that one, and then we've also obviously in the middle of Quicksilver, how we're 36% through. So I've got through a decent amount of books, but saying that though, I mean, I only got through 2 physical. And I kind of planned to get through 4 or 5. But I was just in a Kindle mood. I just wanted to get up in bed and just read on my pillow. And you've got to be in the same mood for that. I'm going to have physical books, audible books, and then Kindle books because I want more of a selection. But I wanted to just sit with you and talk about the books because I know I like have given you little sneak peeks and little rants, but I wanted to go further in detail with this, like just go into more. With Quicksilver, I can't really go into a lot of detail because I'm not obviously finished the book, but I can see it going in places. and I'm excited to see that. We shall see. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been such a long week and I'm scared to see how much footage and clips I've got to edit. I don't know. So we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for watching guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video. It will be February's TBR. Normally January is like 9 years long. This January feels like it's been 2 weeks, and then it's done and dusted. Payday. Done. Hello? Can anybody comprehend what's going on with life? Because unsure. But I'll see you in next week's video. Bye guys. Though they don't know it yet. Hello? I have physical ones, audible ones, Kindable. So it's like a dark academia. He was a really nice actor, speaker. I do not have much pages. I do not have much pages. Fake law.